In life, we want to prioritize what is important to us. And there are so many things that we want in life. We want money. We want relationships. We want health. We want interesting experiences. And the list of goals that we have in our life can be quite long, and they can change from period to period in our life. Obviously, the things that you want in your 20s aren't going to be the same thing that you want in your 50s. And so in life, it is a constant pursuit of achieving goals and getting the things that we want out of life. But there is one thing that is a constant, and that constant is we want to be happy. And everybody wants to be happy. And we want life to be simple. We want it to be easy. We want it to be effortless. And we want to enjoy ourselves each and every day. Now, I discovered many years ago that there are practices that allow you to be happy. In fact, I wrote a book called The Practice of Happiness. Now notice that the book is not called The Pursuit of Happiness. Happiness is not something we pursue. It is the practice of happiness. And so what you do is you practice being happy. Now, one of the things about happiness is that there's a misconception that happiness is something that you achieve and is something that is permanent, and once you've achieved it, you forever have it. And I think that rather than look at the word happiness, we need to change it a little bit. And so rather than thinking of happiness, why don't we think of contentment? Can I be content in my life? Can I be at peace in my life? Can I be relaxed in my life? And can I practice these things day by day? And what you'll find is that if indeed happiness is the ultimate goal, and truly it is, then what you do is that you practice every day having what I call moments of happiness. Like this very moment, you can be at peace with what's happening in your life. Now, there might be many things in your life that are troubling, yet at the same time, there are many things in your life that bring you joy, that bring you pleasure. Your children, your friends, a piece of music, something that you read. Maybe this very moment, just listening to me, is calming, is relaxing, is insightful, and something is being triggered inside you where you realize this very moment I'm at peace. And so what you do is you take on the practices of happiness. And you take on the practice of loving kindness and spending time just loving other people or doing kind things, generosity. And what you notice that when you do these things is that you feel fulfilled, you feel joyful, you feel relaxed. And so it doesn't have to be complicated. And that's what happens a lot of times in our life, is that we make it too complicated. Now, one of the things that you learn in the mindpower training and the master class is that you learn that the mind is a storyteller, that the mind tells us stories, that the mind has narratives about everything in our life. So here's a story and here's a narrative that you can begin to tell yourself. Life is simple. Life is easy. Life happens to me moment by moment. You can even have that as an affirmation. Life is simple. Life is easy. Life is something that happens to me moment by moment. And as you take on that affirmation, as you take on that narrative, as you tell yourself this over and over again, guess what? Life will become simple, life will become easy, and life will unfold moment by moment. And of course, that's the way it works. So don't overcomplicate it. That what you do is very simply embrace your life each day as a separate, unique day that is an amazing journey, a journey that you will never, ever experience again. And you appreciate it. And you look for things to be joyful about. And you stop and you allow inner peace to enter into you. And you look for ways to be kind for other people. And you notice that when I'm kind with other people, when I compliment them or maybe help them in some way, you notice how good this makes me feel. And then you realize, I should do this more often. And you do it more often. And you take on these practices. And as you take on these practices of living life, moment by moment, experience by experience, day by day, you realize that the real treasure in life is inner peace, contentment, loving kindness. And you can do these things each and every day. This is the journey and path to happiness and a happy and successful life.